Hey, we're back.
We're back.
We switched.
We switched. Just
It was
weird.
too uncomfortable. It just wasn't working for us.
Maybe Switch will show up. We'll throw him in the podcast.
Throw him in the middle.
Right here.
He's got his comfy chair back here. He'll sit there.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about the NFL.
You wanted to go off on, or actually not go off on, but speak about what Mr. Sherman said last week.
Sherman and Bomani. You have Bomani on there.
Yeah, I'll take Bomani. You take what Sherman said.
Richard Sherman. There's a guy. His name's like Kate. It's King Nobors. It's some guy named King or some black guy. He's advocating that it should be open season on whites and cops, and basically it's like a tweet like hashtag KKK and then kill all whites. And he was using Richard Sherman as like the picture for it, like, oh yeah, Richard Sherman's behind this.
His poster child.
Yeah, his poster child for it. And Richard Sherman came out and said, and I applaud him for saying, he's like, yeah, I'm not about this at all. You think there's like all the black issues problems spawn from white people? No. He's like, I remember as a kid, white people never came into my hood. No, white people never shot my friends. White people never did this. We have an issue with our own violence against other black people. And when we get that addressed, and we don't have all the murders and stuff we have, and all the violence against each other happening, then we can sit there and try to advocate change for white people not attacking us and not shooting us. So before we do that, we have to look internal on what we can do to make the situation better, not just blame everyone else for it.
We got to fix our hood.
Yeah. And he said one of my best friends was killed when I was a kid, and he wasn't killed by some white guy or a cop. He was killed by a black guy. So, and basically, he's dead on his point. Now, I'm a little upset because I listen to His and Hers.
Yeah, that's what you listen to. I
can't do it. Mike Smith. I'm starting to agree with you now because Mike Smith said,
can't stand him. He's racist as hell.
He basically said, "You're dead. He's dead wrong in this. Yada yada, this and that." And he's like, "He's dead wrong, this and that." And, him and Jamel also said it. Now, here's a little bit of my issue with it, because Stephen A. Smith, who I love listening to Stephen A. Smith.
I absolutely love Stephen A. Smith. When Cam Chancellor came back, the first person who got a text was Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith. I love listening to him about anything when it comes to race relations, because he's a fair-minded person. He doesn't.
Well, he's level-headed.
Yes.
Just because he's black, he doesn't pull up the black shield, the black gun, and just go all out on it.
He doesn't. He's very
even keeled.
Yeah. And he said he applauded what he said. He's like, he's absolutely 1,000% correct. We have an issue against black on black crime and violence that we need to fix in this country before we turn it. I mean, doesn't resolve all the other issues that are going on, but we need to look at each other and say, we need to stop doing this first before we can look and have someone else and judge them based on what they're doing to us.
Yeah, it's not. This is gonna sound racist, but it is what it is. It's not our job to come in and clean up your mess. You clean up your mess, and we'll stop those of us that are pricks. We'll probably stop being pricks. But you got to clean up your own mess first.
It's a snowball effect, because here's what happens: you have black on black crime in the ghetto, in the hood. Okay. So when that happens, they complain like, "Oh, the police aren't protecting us. The police aren't around." Yada yada. So then they throw police in the hood, and the police arrest their boys. Now they have an issue with that, and then they start shooting cops. Well, our big issue as a country right now is we need to stop teaching the youth of America to be disrespectful little shits, and they think they're entitled and empowered to do whatever the hell they want.
God,
that's the issue with our youth in our country.
Fucking the entitlement generation that is the last 5 years worth that graduated high school.
Yeah.
A lot of those kids are fucking worthless. And it's not that they're worthless on their own accord. They were made that way because they were told that you're entitled to this, you're entitled to that. Literally an entire generation of people that were told that they were going to get paid $250K as a starting salary for whatever job they ended up getting. And that's not the way the world has ever worked. For a fortunate few, yes. For the rest of us, we start down here at minimum wage, and then we're good at our job, and we get an extra quarter, and then we get an extra nickel, and then we've been there for 5 years, so we get a nice longevity mark, and you work your way up.
Or that crappy job you started out with, getting like the minimum wage, you use that as a stepping stone to propel you to a bigger, better job. and that was just a temporary spot. God, we're getting really into some politics here.
Well, but the civil solution, actually, a really good example of this would be Megan. She started out bussing tables, doing dishes, cooking pizzas, being a server. Boom,
She
boom,
actually
boom.
started out mini golf.
Yeah, started out doing nothing at a nice little restaurant chain around here, and now she's pretty much ruling the frickin' roost. But she worked her way there. It wasn't handed to her. She earned it, and that's what's lost on that generation is they didn't earn anything. They think they should just be given everything.
Yeah, it's a mixture of a handful of things, really. And we're really getting political.
Yeah, we really tangented on that.
But
point is
it? Do you think is it or is it not? Is it fair that you should work if you work 40 hours a week, you'd still be in poverty?
no, you shouldn't be impoverished at all. But the answer isn't hiking the minimum wage because as soon as they do that, they hike up all the prices of the things that the minimum wage people provide for us. So
I wouldn't be opposed to.
So then the middle class takes a hit.
If you're a Fortune 500 company, I wouldn't be opposed to minimum wage being forced higher on those companies because it's not gonna affect your profit margin.
Yeah, but the problem is the government actually even has to step in the first place. If you own a company and you make billions of dollars, how much money do you fucking need? Like, seriously, how much fucking money do you need to be comfortable? To live comfortably, to know that you've set your family up for a lifetime. You don't need billions of dollars to literally set your family up for 5-6 generations. You don't need that much money to do that. Because you teach them how to make money.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you
their own damn money.
My idea for what the country needs to do to fix this issue. You ever heard of a fair tax?
Yeah, that's exactly what we need. I'm 100%.
Are we on the same page with what a fair tax is?
Yeah, 20% for everybody across the board.
All purchased goods?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah,
well, it could be anything. But
yeah, but 10% across the board for everybody. The rich, the poor, everyone pays their fair share.
Yeah, and for those of you on the interwebs, or the whatever, interwebs, for those who don't know what a fair tax is, basically, anytime goods change hands, there's a tax on it that the buyer has to pay. For example, if you're a farmer, right, and you grow grain or wheat or whatever the case may be, and you need to sell your product, a lot of it, to, say, General Mills, okay? So what happens is buying the product, giving it to General Mills. The transition of the product going to General Mills is a 20% tax on what they purchase. Goes straight to the government. Okay, I think it's like 16. They discussed about being 16%. We'll see.
Well, the current tax rate on our income taxes at the middle class area is somewhere around like 26.3% is what you pay out of your paycheck to the government.
Yeah. Basically, without boring you, and every time there's any kind of goods, whether it's raw goods and you got to turn them into like a product, like cereal, bread, then that product. So every time goods change hands via purchasing, you have to pay a tax on whatever you purchase. So if you buy $10 million worth of wheat, okay, you get taxed 20% on that, which is what, $200,000?
Did you say $10 million worth of wheat?
Yes, that'd be $2 million.
$2 million.
That'd be $2 million. Okay, you have to pay a tax of $2 million on that, and that goes down the line. Now, for you and I, or me and him, that wouldn't affect us that much. Why? First off, I could grow a lot of my vegetables. I don't need to do that, but we would get, first off, we get more of our paycheck because it would end the income tax.
That'd be done.
You wouldn't have Maryland withhold for Medicare. You wouldn't have all these things. All of it would come straight out of the fair tax. And like if I go to buy something from the store, I too would pay 20% tax, but I have more money to buy more goods because I'm not getting a quarter of my paycheck taken from me, or a third. It depends on how much you get. If you get overtime, it's basically a third.
Because currently, right now, in the state of Maryland, you figure between the federal and state government, you're losing 26% of your paycheck gone right off the bat. Then I turn around and go buy shit at Walmart, and yes, it looks all nice and good when I'm only paying 6%, but then at the end of the day, you add all that up, then I'm being taxed at 32% total. Now, that's not even counting if I go out and buy liquor because there's a separate liquor tax. So I'm paying more in taxes overall by the current system than I would if it was just 20% flat down the board. Now, looking at it, it looks shitty because you're like, oh shit, on a $100 bill at Walmart, that's 20 more bucks. Yes.
But you have, let's say I get a paycheck.
You're saving 16%.
Let's say my paycheck is $1,000 a week. Okay. Let's say hypothetically it's $1,000 a week. We're really off topic. And just finish this thought.
Wrap this up so I can bitch about my money.
Okay. So let's say I make $1,000 a week. Okay, we'll say hypothetically. Taxes, now let's say something that was overtime. Because of overtime, you get double taxed. So basically, a third of my paycheck is gone. So a $1,000 paycheck roughly goes down to about $650. That's $350 more I could use it to buy another car, to buy more products, and that in turn actually helps our economy because I can buy more goods. Okay. Now with the fair tax, and then let's say I go to the store and buy groceries that week, $100 worth of food. Actually, food doesn't get taxed, but whatever.
Whatever
you buy. Let's say it's $100 worth of stuff. Okay, and then you add 6% to it, so that's what $106 roughly.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay. So then you spend another $6 in taxes. So I was done spent like $350 in taxes, another $6 just for my
no,
stuff.
$356. Now it's just for groceries.
Yeah.
Or
now the fair tax, I would get all $1,000 I made.
Minus whatever. Well, if your paycheck had like a pension system or whatever.
If there's a pension, okay.
The healthcare, but whatever.
Okay, so all that stuff, I get every dollar that I make. I have more money to spend on goods. I can go buy. Maybe I want another car. Maybe I want a motorcycle. I do want a motorcycle. I'm trying to get one for the last couple of months. Just can't get financing.
I have one in the basement.
So you can buy more things, which spikes the economy. When you jack up your income tax, you have less money to buy. So you'll pay all your bills, and then you'll hold it all in. Okay? You're like that guy in a poker table that is really, unless he has the perfect hand, doesn't play. That's what you're like. Rather than being a little more free-flowing and let your money be spent. Now, that doesn't hurt us as much. The businesses are the ones that kind of get the shit end on that, but they're the billionaires. They can afford it. If you're Apple and you're buying all these components, like millions of components, and you're paying billions of dollars for it, and then you get taxed on that, you're going to get a lot more money out of the taxes from billionaires than you are going to get taxes from me and him.
Well, but I mean, if you look at the big picture, this thing costs, let's see, is a 4S. The last I checked, I think it costs $76 to make. It cost $76 to make this little piece of shit. When I had to buy it outright through a contract, it cost me $200.
Yeah.
That's $140 they just made, or $130 they just made profit.
Yeah.
Profit. More than double what the device is technically worth because of what it costs to build it. And that's where we went wrong, is everyone got greedy and they figured out how to abuse the tax system, so they send all their money offshore, so it's not even taxed to begin with. So the rich get richer and the rest of us are left to try to pay for it. And plus, doing the fair tax, what does that eliminate? An entire branch of the fucking government that we don't have to pay anymore, because the IRS could be shrunk down to one office in the back of a building somewhere, to where all they do is tally up all the money that's coming in. And that's all they have to do. They don't figure out how to do fucking returns anymore, which is bullshit anyway. People look at it as an investment banking system. I have no idea what in the hell that's all about. The goal of doing your taxes, Jesus Christ, we were the fuck off topic.
Yeah.
The point of doing your taxes is to try to find that happy little medium to where you're not having to send them any more money, but you're not getting a whole lot back, which means you're getting more overall in your paycheck. I claim 0 because I just don't want to fucking figure it out. I'm bored. But anyway, point is
0, and you need to claim 2 because you have Jess and your baby as independent.
No, I don't claim Jess as independent. I claim the baby.
Well, you claim Jess, you're married, aren't you?
Yeah, but I don't claim it as independent.
Okay.
It's
you must get more back in taxes then. 0 or 1 is what you're supposed to do.
I claim 0 all year long, and then I claim 1 when I do my returns.
Okay. All right. Well,
anyway, point is, Richard Sherman said essentially they need to go in and clean up their own fucking problem. They are not entitled for people to come in there and do it for them. They need to fix it themselves. Bomani Jones decided he was going to add his 2 cents to it, which usually I love Bomani. I find him to be a very colorful black character. I think he's funny for the most part. He turns around and says, "We've been doing that." No, you haven't. You haven't been doing that at all.
Look at Baltimore. Look at Detroit.
You
look at Chicago.
You haven't doing jack shit. Bomani Jones, you're in Miami. You have a pinky ring. You love to show off your pinky ring because a pinky ring in your community is a sign of wealth. You got so much money that you're just buying rings for fingers that don't need them. That's why you wear that. You've said that before, quote unquote, in Around the Horn. I've watched that as well. Don't tell me you're working on the problem. The problem started in 67 and 68 with the formation of the Crips out in LA, but everyone thought that was a good thing. It was all about helping each other. Well, that's fine, but it didn't do that. They wanted to find ways to help each other, so they started dealing in drugs to make that money to help the community. That worked out beautifully. Now we have gangs selling drugs throughout the entire country, and no community
who are either in gangs or on drugs.
Yeah,
one or the other.
And nobody's profiting from it except individuals.
So you have the druggies that are in debt to a gang. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
debt to a gang. You have the gang who's relied upon people who with weak will to get their financial come-ups. Basically, the best way to put it. So,
you're not doing anything, Bomani. You're not doing anything. If you were doing something, the problem would get less and less and less over the years. Black on black crime every year, if you watch, it's like this on that little graph. It goes,
I mean, Michael Smith did make a decent point. You're more likely to commit crimes against those around you, which is true anywhere. If you're in a Latin community, there's gonna be more Latin on Latin crime, whether it's assault or killing. If you're in a like in Garrett County, how many white people kill black people? 0. How many white people kill white people in this county? We don't get a lot of murders in this county, but we've had white people kill white people before. It's because you're gonna fight what's around you. But that still doesn't go to the point. And Mike Smith I think he missed the overall message. The overall message was that he was saying that I don't want to be a part of this kill whites movement that seems to be like, oh my God, he's killing you.
I'm getting fucking slaughtered. Adrian Peterson must be balling. No? Cam Newton's balling.
Cam Newton's fucking good. So that was my issue with it. The overall point was that a black guy from the hood who is got a master's in communication from Stanford, fucking Stanford.
The one point you did make about Sherman is when he was talking about this, he was not as clear and concise as he usually is. Usually he's very cocky in his delivery, very confident in what he has to say. He was nervous about what he had to say. He was carefully and slowly forming his words for his argument. So that tells me that that's an issue that's personal to him, and he would probably be someone you need to fucking talk to about it.
Yeah.
Because he knows, he understands. Bomani, if you grew up in a hood and you had that and you've seen it around you and you're actually doing something, good for you. Seriously, good for you. But don't tell me that you're doing something when every time I turn on the news, I've seen nothing done. Because it's not the police's job to come in and clean up your neighborhood. You have to start yourselves for them to be willing to want to come back to that neighborhood to do anything.
Here's a huge difference.
It's scary.
I explained to someone, and I actually have a black friend who goes to Blackbird all the time. E.T. You might not know him. Works at Alito's.
I don't think I met D.T.
E.T. And he's actually came and thanked me because of the way me and my friends treat him. We don't treat him any different than anyone else. There's a difference between Democrats and Republicans. This is one of the huge differences.
Now it's officially a political discussion.
Democrats, liberals look at African Americans or people of different descent and say, oh, they can't help how they are. Let's help them. Okay? For example, they can't help that there's crime where they live. They can't help that the way they act. They can't help that all these things that's how they think, though. It's true. That's exactly how they think.
But it's bullshit.
Look, you gotta have your Obama fund. You gotta have free education. If they go to an area of a non-diverse area, they get free education. That's why Garrett has so many black kids. They get all this free shit, and it's like they can't help how they are. Let's just help them. The difference there is Republicans and myself, and I'm pretty sure you're the same way. We just have a standard. We want you to treat you the same as us. You should get any special treatment.
Nope.
We just demand more. We have a higher what's the word up here?
We have higher expectations.
Higher expectations
of individuals.
Yeah. So
we do.
It's true. I do. I'm my friend. Like there was one time where we were drinking. Well, he was drinking. I had like a couple beers. And I was DD, so I only had like 2 beers. And he was about to leave, and he's like, "I don't have a ride. I'm gonna head home." I'm like, "No, not happening." He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Dude, I've seen you have like 8 drinks. You ain't driving home." And it's not like, oh, I feel sorry. I was like, no, I have an It's like I appreciate the kind of white person you are. I'm like, what's that? He's like, you have an expectation for me. And it's not that you pity me because I'm black and you're sorry for me. No, you expect me to be like a white person. And maybe that's offensive to some people. That's who you are. You're from the hood, whatever. But
no, it's your job to start cleaning up your hood, and the simplest way to do that is to be visible, not the wrong kind of visible where the guys are all standing on the corner waiting for the next deal. This little neighborhood that I live in the middle of rural Funduck, was starting to get bad. Like, there's people moving in here that, you know.
Oh, yeah, the island.
Yeah,
subway.
Yeah, weren't too happy with. Well, even here in this general vicinity, in this block, we had people moving in that just were shady. They were dealing drugs and shit, and we didn't want them around. What I started doing, me and the wife start taking the baby for a walk every day, all the way around. Week later, we see another older couple. They walk the exact opposite loop we did. A couple days after that, the girl who lives up the street started walking her dog every day after that. Then, all of a sudden, we see people sitting out on their porches, hanging out, waiting to say hi to us, talk to us, meet us, greet us, whatever. Huh. That house that was selling drugs isn't selling drugs anymore. There's too many eyes on them. There's too many people seeing them. Yes, bad people in the community can keep a couple of people silent, but they cannot shut down an entire block. Mm-hmm. The more eyes that are on the street, the better. You keep your community safe by being visible, not hiding in your house for safety. And I understand why you do it. Some of y'all live in a terrible, shitty, fucked up place, and it sucks, and I feel bad for you. I really do. But if you want your block back, you have to take it back. It should not be given to you because you shouldn't have lost it in the first place. You let it happen. Now make it unhappen. It's on you. It's not on me to fix your problem. Not my tax dollars, not my time, none of that. It's not my problem. You fix your problem, and then I'll be more than happy to dish out some money to upgrade your house.
Mm. All right. Well, we went all political for 20 minutes. You want to jump to the next topic?
Should I let them know what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Next on the agenda will be Cam Chancellor, since we were talking about the Seahawks.
Yeah, I misconstrued.
You gonna break it?
Yeah, I'll break it real quick.
Yeah, we're gonna have to break this because this is 22 minutes. And the complaint we get is we get too long.
Okay, so we'll break it real quick, and we'll be right back.